Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and the county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the important trust, to call to the important performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests we have committed to our church. Amen. Sergeant Atam, kindly ring quorum bell for the first 5 minutes. I'm not able to see the whip, even the deputy whip, but I'm able to support Deputy Majority Leader. Honorable Lumumba Wade, kindly confirm if we have quorum.
Madam Speaker, I can confirm that we have quorum. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, kindly take us through the order of the day.
Order paper number 277 of today, Wednesday, 5th March 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Honorable members, it is statement hour. Next order.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report of PICPA Committee on the examination of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021-2022 and 2022-2023.
Yes, Honorable Kennedy Ouko, Chair PICPA.
Thank you, thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to move a motion on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2021, 2022, 2022, 2023. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, and pursuant to the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders number 188, I rise to present to this House the committee report on the audited financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2021-2022 and the 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, the County Assembly exercises its oversight mandate over county government entities and investments, including their expenditure, in accordance with Article 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. This oversight role is effectively discharged through the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, whose mandate is drawn from the County Assembly Standing Orders. Further, Article 229(8) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 requires the Assembly to debate, consider, and take appropriate action on audit reports within 3 months of its submission. In adherence to the constitutional requirements, the committee convened two sittings during which it engaged the accounting officers of Migosi Sub-County Hospital, receiving both written and oral evidence in response to audit queries raised by the Auditor General on the financial statement for the financial year under review. Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to extend my sincere appreciation to the honorable members of the committee for their dedication, as well as the office of the Speaker, the clerk of the Assembly, the committee secretary, and the office of the Auditor General for their invaluable facilitation and technical support in preparation of this report. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee, I now table this report on the examination of the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year ending 30th June 2022 and 30th June 2023. I urge this House to adopt and to consider and adopt the report. Madam Speaker, may I bring to the attention of the House that we are going to deal with the moving notes. The detailed one is already escalated in your walls. Thank you. 3.0 Madam Speaker, report on the Auditor General on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital, financial year 2021-2022 and 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, the Medical Superintendent Dr. Evelyn Motobwe appeared before the committee on 14th January 2025 to adduce evidence on the audited financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the year ended 30th June 2022 and 30th June 2023. The following officers accompanied the medical superintendent: 1, Mr. Charles Odero, account clerk; 2, Mr. Jonah Onar, hospital administrator. The Office of the Auditor General was represented in the committee by Mrs. Margaret Onyata, Principal Auditor, Kisumu Regional Office. Basis for advice opinion, financial year 2021-2022. They had advice opinion for financial year 2021-2022. Honorable Speaker, the following issues form the basis of advice opinion on financial year 2021-2022. 1, unbalanced trial balance. 2, unsupported revaluation reserve. 3, variance in revenue from rendering services. 4, variance in receivable from exchange transactions. 5, non-disclosure of donated drugs. 6, unexplained variance in cash and cash equivalents. 7, unsupported inventory balance. 8, unsupported property, plant and equipment. 9, long outstanding trade and other payables. 10, deficiency in implementation of UHCE. 11, failure to maintain fixed asset register. 12, stock out of essential drugs. 13, failure to establish audit committee and ineffective internal audit function. Basis for advice opinion, financial year 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, the following audit issues form the basis for advice opinion in audit report of financial year 2022-2023. Remember that was 2021-2022, and this is now 2022-2023. 1, unbalanced trial balance, the same. 2, variance in revenue from rendering services. 3, variance in receivables from exchange transactions. 4, variance in trade and other payable. 6, unreconciled cash and cash equivalents. 7, unsupported inventory balance. 8, unsupported non-current assets. 9, inaccuracies in financial statement. 10, lack of approval budget. 11, long outstanding trade and other payables. 12, stock out essential drugs. 13, deficiency in implementation of the UHC. Having examined the Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial year 2021-2022 and 2022-2023, the committee makes the following key observations. 1, that the trial balance presented in support of financial statement did not balance for the 2 financial years. 2, that contrary to the requirement of IPSAS 17, property, plant and equipment, which requires that the revaluation of assets be supported by formal report prepared by the qualified valuer, the management failed to provide the evaluation report to support the reported revaluation reserve of Kenya shillings 47,687,668 during the time of audit and committee deliberations during the financial year 2021-2022. 3, that the management erroneously recorded Kenya shillings 2,393,950 as reimbursement from the National Health Insurance Fund, that is NHIF, while NHIF records show an actual reimbursement of Kenya shillings 578,000, resulting in a variance of 1,801,815,950. During committee deliberations, the management clarified that the Kenya shillings 202,393,950 represents the total NHIF claims, while the Kenya shillings 578,000 reflect actual receipts. Management further confirmed that they are now separating actual receipts from the receivable. The financial statement reflects an amount of Kenya shillings 1,645,340 relating to the National Insurance Fund, NHIF. However, NHIF records indicate a balance of Kenya shillings 86,604, resulting in a variance of 1,558,736. Honorable Speaker, number 5, that despite the contract between the hospital and NHIFs that stipulates genuine claim should be paid within 30 days of submission, the amount of Kenya shillings 1,645,340 reported had been outstanding for more than 12 months during the financial year 2021-2022. 6, that contrary to Section 138.8 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires that recipient of grants or donations from development partner to be recorded, the recipient to record the value of such grants or donation in their books of accounts. And Regulation 71.5 of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015, which mandates the disclosure of gifts, donations, or sponsorship in annual and quarterly financial statement. The management failed to disclose donation amounting to Kenya shillings 9,983,607 from KEMSA and Kenya shillings 552,134 from Universal Healthcare. 7, that the management of the statement of financial position reflect an amount of Kenya shillings 579,268 as a cash and cash equivalent. However, the reconciled cash book reflects a balance of Kenya shillings 551,982, resulting in a variance of 27,286. The variance had been reconciled at the time of committee deliberations. 8, that the cash and cash equivalents balance was not supported with Board of Survey report. 9, that contrary to the provision of IPSAS 12, which requires periodic verifications of inventory, the management failed to conduct a physical stock taking exercise at the 30th June 2022. During committee deliberations, the management acknowledged the omission and confirmed the corrective measures had been taken to align with the requirement of IPSAS 12. 10, the management failed to provide the auditors with ownership documents for parcel of land occupied by the hospital. Additionally, the management did not adequately explain how the cost amounted to Kenya shillings 54,890,651 relating to property, land, and equipment were derived. 11, that contrary to the provisions of National Treasury Circular number 10/2020, dated 16th June 2020, which requires the accounting officer to prioritize pending bills as the first charge. The management had an outstanding amount of Kenya shillings 12,365,464 that had remained unpaid for more than 3 years. 12, that the hospital does not meet several key specifications outlined in Kenya Quality Model for Health Policy Guideline, particularly in areas of medical personnel and equipment. 13, that the management failed to maintain a fixed asset register to control its assets, contrary to Regulation 136.1 of the Public Management County Government Regulation 2015, which states that the accounting officer is responsible that the management failed to maintain a fixed asset register to control its assets, contrary to Regulation 136.1 of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulation 2015, which states that the accounting officer is responsible for maintaining a register of assets under their control or possession as prescribed by the relevant laws. 14, that during the financial year, 34 types of drugs were out of stock, necessitating most patients to purchase drugs externally. Additionally, 16 types of drugs whose value could not be determined had expired. 15, that contrary to section 155(1)(a) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which requires a county government entity to comply with the Act and establish appropriate arrangements for conducting internal audit in accordance with guideline issued by the Accounting Standing Board, and section 155(5) of the same Act, which mandates the establishment of an audit committee. The hospital management had not established an audit committee or internal audit function. 6.1, summary of the recommendations. 1, that the accounting officer immediately initiate the process of engaging a valuer to carry out an accurate valuation of all assets to establish their fair value. 2, that going forward, the accounting officer must ensure that financial statements are prepared accurately and present a true and a fair view of the financial position of the facility. 3, that going forward, the accounting officer must ensure strict compliance with IPSAS 17, property, plant, and equipment. 4, that going forward, the accounting officer must maintain proper record of NHIF claim submitted, claim receivable and received and receivables. 4, that the accounting officer immediately initiate a reconciliation process with NHIF to resolve the variance in their books of account. 6, that moving forward, the management must adhere to the provision of section 138(8) of the Public Management Act 2012 and regulation 75(5) of the Public Finance Management Regulation 2015 on disclosure of grants and donations. 7, that moving forward, the management must assure that all financial records, including bank reconciliations, are updated regularly and accurately to prevent future variances. 8, the management must conduct periodic board of survey assessment and ensure that reports are prepared and submitted as required to enhance accountability. 9, that going forward, the management must strictly adhere to IPSAS 12 on periodic verification of inventory. 10, the County Executive Committee CEC member for health immediately liaise with the CEC member of land, physical planning, housing, urban development to initiate the process of securing title deed for the health facilities that lack ownership documents. A report on the progress be submitted to this assembly within a period of 90 days upon adoption of this report. 11, that moving forward, the management must adhere to the provision of National Treasury Circular number 10/2020, dated 16th June 2020. 12, that the County Executive Committee member of health put measures in place to ensure that the facility progressively move towards adhering to the Kenya Quality Model for Health Policy Guideline. 13, that going forward, the accounting officer must ensure adherence to regulations 136(1) of the Public Finance Management County Government Regulations 2015, which states that the accounting officer is responsible for maintaining a register of assets under their control or possession as described by the relevant laws. 14, that going forward, the management must establish a clear policy for monitoring and managing inventory to prevent shortage of essential drugs and the presence of expired drugs in the inventory. 15, that in future, the management must ensure compliance with the provision of section 155(1)(a) and 55(5) of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, establishment of audit committee. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, I hereby request that this House adopt this report of the Public Accounts and Investment Committee on the consideration of Auditor General's report on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the year 2021, 2022, 2023. May I call upon Honorable James Were or Honorable James Omolo to second? Thank you. Oh, Honorable James Were, present. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable James Were, MC Nyalenda B.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, before I second, I want to make a few remarks. Madam Speaker, it's indeed true that there was an audit report for 2021, 2022, and 2022, 2023, which gave an adverse opinion to that Migosi facility. Madam Speaker, an adverse opinion is an audit report that indicates financial statements are materially misstated and do not present true and fair view of the entity's financial position. Madam Speaker, this is very serious issue that can affect organization credibility, investor confidence, and regulatory compliance. Madam Speaker, there are key things that were flagged by the Office of the Auditor General that the management must cure so that we don't have adverse opinion in future. Madam Speaker, there are things that were identified. For an entity to have adverse mention, it means that there are things that were not done right, that we need to put right so that they can be cured, so that we don't have those financial implications. Madam Speaker, we must correct financial statements, and going by the committee findings and recommendations, there are almost 15 recommendations that were put forward by the committee to ensure that if they are followed by the management, the future audit reports will be in the best interest of our county. Madam Speaker, also for us to cure, if we go by the recommendations that we have, we must ensure that we have internal controls. Do we have our internal audits? Do we do them regularly? And if they are done regularly, whatever flagged by the Office of the Auditor General, are we providing the documentary evidence that are required? Those are simple things that we must ensure that management does. Because there are some small things that we ignore that it's doing away with the credibility of whatever we are doing. All of the management of different facilities that we have within our county, they ignore small things. Then again, we should also manage to engage with experts so that we can be advised that what do we need to put right, what do we need to do right, so that we can be at par with other institutions. And Madam Speaker, some of the recommendations are geared towards updating our accounting systems. We must be at par with the requirement. What does the Public Finance Management Act 2012 says? Those who are tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that our books are kept in a proper way, are they doing the right thing? It is the right time so that we put that responsibility on their soldier to ensure that they do the right thing. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I beg to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, now that a motion on adoption of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement of Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021, 2022 and 2022, 2023 has been presented and seconded, I want to propose a question, and I propose that the motion on adoption of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the Migosi Sub-County Hospital for the financial years 2021, 2022, and 2021, 2023 is open for debate. Yes, Honorable Benio Iko Pete Kabonyo Kanyagwal.
Madam Speaker, I want to give my little contribution on this report. Madam Speaker, most of our health institutions, I think from level 4, Chair, it is level 4 that have been given the authority to spend their money. They just guide me. No, Madam Speaker is getting me. Thank you. Madam Speaker, our hospitals at level 4 have been given authority to incur their own expenditure and prepare their financial statements for auditing for every financial year. I think this isn't the work from the health department at the executive level so that work may flow in this our level 4 health facilities. That looks good. But Madam Speaker, we have been seeing challenges in these health facilities. They are lacking personnel to help them prepare their financial statements. In this report, there are the medical officers and an accounts clerk. And the report given by the Office of the Auditor General is adverse for 2 financial years, giving a picture that the accounts office may not well be equipped, since it is the accounts clerk who is there by the name Charlie Sodero. I don't know what the basic qualification he has, but from the picture given by the Office of the Auditor General, the records are not properly kept in this level 4 hospital of Migosi Sub-County. When we get the picture that the trial balance is not balancing by over 42,832,586, this gives the picture that there is no proper record that can be prepared in this healthy facility, because it is from the trial balance where the other financial records will be derived from. Statement of income and expenditure will come from trial balance, and the balance sheet will also come from the trial balance. And when the trial balance has not balanced for 2 financial years, this gives a very poor picture of the management of the hospital. We get the picture that the debit column, that is the expenditure column, is 71,469,487. And the credit column, which is the income, is 28,636,901. one wonder why the expenditure is so high and the income is low. The final records that are needed for this to show the proper use of money in this hospital will not be got from this kind of situation, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, something must also come clear from this report, that who is now the accounting officer of our level 4 hospitals? Is it the chief officer at the department? Is it the med soup at the health facility? That is also a picture that should come out very clearly. Madam Speaker, when we go to page 12, non-disclosure of donated drugs. Drugs were donated of 9,983,607. That is from KEMSA. There was also universal health coverage of 552,134. These ones were not properly covered in the financial report. And if drugs, this will be drugs of almost over 10 million received by a health facility, and the records are not properly kept, what will we think of? Was there pilferage on these drugs? And if proper records are not kept, Madam Speaker, we would be suspicious that bad things may be happening in the health facility. Madam Speaker, there is also this circular of 2020 on the pending bills. And this will be a good eye-opener to this House, that if by 2020, the National Treasury had issued a circular that is on page 29, that is page 29, that contrary to the provisions of National Treasury Circular number 10, 2020, dated 16th June 2020, which requires the accounting officer to prioritize pending bills as a first charge. And this is a very strong tool that this House should use to take the executive to task why they are not honoring this circular, this instruction on matters of pending bill. And matters of pending bill do come up every financial year. And we as the MCS, we are suffering a lot on this when contractors fail to go to the ground, that they are still following up their pending bills. In this case, Migosi Sub-County Hospital was unable to pay 13,863,579 for more than 3 years. And the financial records are also not properly kept. This gives a very poor picture of the management of the health facility and on our oversight role. And when we go to page 32, number 4, the National Health Insurance Fund, which is a thorny issue in this country up to now, where the health facilities are claiming about 30 billion that they want the government to pay them. And if our records also reflect this, that these monies have not been paid from 2020, 2021, who is now on the wrong? What is the corrective position? As they fight the SAR, and these figures have accumulated over the years. Madam Speaker, on page 34, the matter of title deeds for health facilities. This matter has also been raised in this House from time to time, but let the committee take note that the department does not allocate money to prepare title deeds for health facilities. They want the MCAs to do this, to give allocation in their budget so that title deeds are processed for the facilities that are still lacking title deeds. Madam Speaker, with those few remarks, I will say we need to discuss a lot on the finances of health facilities in Kisumu County because poor records are kept that will give the picture of poor management of finances in health department. With those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I so contribute.
Yes, Honorable Waredu.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity also to contribute on the matter before the House. On the onset, let me take the opportunity to commend the Chair and the committee for a detailed and comprehensive report that we have given the House. Always, the purpose of audit report is just to give us the true picture of how our limited resources are being utilized in our facilities. Madam Speaker, if you've been keen on the audited reports that we've been dealing with, the issues have just been the same. For this one, we have a report for 2021 and 2022, and 2022 and 2023 with adverse opinion, which, as said before, will scare our donors and investors. And you realize that in each and everywhere the recommendations are being made and the reports will still come with the same issues and no response that is being taken. At least I can report that we now have an implementation committee which will ensure that all the recommendations that have been passed by this House, we will be, as a committee of the implementation, we will be calling some of these facilities